So that's a really good question. And the answer is a little complicated. It's actually a spectrum. Everybody is different, and so it's hard to predict. Some of the symptoms, hot flashes, for instance, they tend to go away pretty quickly, or at least get better pretty quickly within a few weeks of starting the medications. And so those are usually, hot flashes, night sweats, even some sleep problems. Those are sort of early wins in the first few weeks to a month or so for most people. Some of the other stuff like weight gain and muscle mass, those are more long-term and they take a little while to really manifest. Unfortunately, most of us, I know for me, we procrastinate a bit and we let things kind of get going before we decide to seek treatment. And so you may have been putting on menopause weight for years and it's going to take a while to get that back off. First, we've got to get the metabolic changes that these hormones do, and that takes a while. And then once that starts, we slow down the weight gain, then we get to not gaining weight, and then finally we get to losing weight. And that's a process and it takes time. And it's frustrating because, we all want it now. I know I do. But it's one of those things that you got to stick with it. And then other things are sort of in between. And sometimes it's unpredictable as well. Sometimes they'll lose weight right away, and then their hot flashes aren't better for a couple of months. So everybody's a little bit different, but generally that's the pattern that we most often see.
What we're hearing from some women is that they didn't even know that things that were happening to them were related to menopause until they started taking hormone replacement therapy. So one thing that doesn't get talked very much about is the vaginal changes. And I know my girlfriends and we laugh about not being able to laugh, because then the incontinence, you pee yourself when you laugh too hard, or you lift a heavy item, you pee yourself. Lord knows you don't want to sneeze. And so that problem, most women just think, well, it's because I'm getting older, but actually it's related to the drop in your hormones. And so we're hearing back from some women that are saying, I didn't know vaginal changes were a part of all of this milieu of everything that's going on. And so you might have things that are happening that you haven't even identified as maybe being able to take care of it with HRT. So for some women, it's been really exciting.
As far as our creams, they'll either have estrogen or estrogen and progesterone, or sometimes just progesterone. But in any case, use the cream the same way. In general, the cream's designed to use 2 full pumps. Don't cheat on the pumps. So you want to use 2 full pumps of the cream. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually a teeny amount. And you're going to rub that into any area of your body that doesn't have hair follicles, except over the breasts. Most women end up putting it in their wrists or the inside of their forearm, because it's a very convenient place. And you don't have to do half and half. You can if you want, but it doesn't really make any difference. And the idea is you put 2 pumps in your hand, rub it into the part of your body, for instance, the inside of your forearms or inside of your wrists, until it's all rubbed in. And that will absorb pretty quickly. Within a half an hour, it's pretty much all in. And at that point, if you want, you could take a shower, go swimming. You also don't have to worry, it's not gonna rub off on someone else. So let's say you do it at bedtime, which is usually when we recommend using it. It's okay to get in bed with your spouse or your significant other. Even if you snuggle up, the cream from your wrist is not gonna get on your significant other and cause issues for them. So you don't have to worry about that. One interesting anecdote, we did have one patient whose dog apparently loved the taste of this cream. And so she was constantly having to fight with the dog as it was trying to lick the cream off right after she put it on. So for that individual, we ended up having to change her to pills because, pets are pets. And actually, just as another interesting anecdote, I had a different patient who told me that she had dropped one of the DHEA pills, and I guess her cat ate it and absolutely fell in love with it, and now bugs her every time she opens the bottle of DHEA because she wants to be fed another one. And our pets are great, but sometimes they can be a pain in the neck. But apart from that, it's very easy to use and very safe.